Okay. Testing, testing. All right. Oh man.
Hello, hello.
I sent you the codes invite.
Mm. Okay, can you send it to me again? Sorry.
That's fine.
How do I do that?
All right, I sent it again.
Okay. Okay. Hello.
Yep.
All right, you ready to start?
Yes, ma'am. Sure am.
Okay. Well, today is September the 10th of 2025, the day of our Lord, and we welcome you to the TPP podcast. Woo! Yay!
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, So sorry for our absence, you guys. A lot of different things was going on, but due to recent events that occurred today, we had to get on and we're gonna start working on more consistency on my end for you all, so we can have more content.
Yeah. No, it's
Uh,
definitely been an eventful day, that's for sure. And we wanted to bring the conversation to the fold. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a lot of things to say and a lot of different thoughts. And
mm-hmm,
so, that's where we're pro free speech. But,
mm-hmm.
play play with God if you want to. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
So pretty much while we've been gone, we've had a birthday.
Yeah.
So it was Jay's birthday. How's it feel to be 1 year older?
It's not really much changed. It doesn't feel like I'm a year older. I mean, we'd be outside, so it's like, hey, it's just another
Yeah.
day. But I ain't gonna lie, I did celebrate. I did enjoy my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I just hung out, got some rest, um, and just took it easy. And because it was also a holiday, it was Labor Day, so
Mm-hmm.
just enjoyed the time away from work, the extra holiday, or excuse me, the extra day away. So it was like a 3 day weekend. So you know how that goes.
Yes.
But yeah,
Right.
it's been nice. But a lot of other things, personal as well. Just dealing with aging parents, as a lot of people in my generation seem to be dealing with as well. So it's been some of that going on, and I'm sure those that are out there that have you know folks that they're taking care of, regardless of what phase they are in life, can understand how that can be unpredictable at times.
Yes. Yes. I completely understand if you are a millennial listening in and you have aging parents. It seems like we are all experiencing the same things at the same time with our parents. So, the best thing to do is to just take a deep breath and take it day by day.
For sure, for sure, and realize what battles are yours and which ones are not.
There you go. That's it. And if you find it difficult to figure the balance between those two, we always recommend going to seek therapy, having a talk with the source, and
Building
finding
that
the
toolkit. Yes.
and trying to try to mediate some of the stress that may come with certain changes that life brings us.
That's right. That's right.
um so that brings us to today, you guys. This stream is going to be about
Mm,
violence, guns, death,
Lord.
stabbings, all of those things that you do on GTA 5 currently,
Oh my God.
um, may be brought up in the discussion tonight.
Hey. All right.
So where I was is I was just scrolling on Instagram, and next thing I know, I see a video with a whole mass group of white folks, because y'all love being in crowds together.
Mm,
Um, and I heard a gunshot, and I heard one of the attendees telling everyone to run.
mm.
Um, and you could obviously tell this was in a black establishment, because uh, nobody ran immediately.
Oh yeah, it did take him a hot second to finally move. You're right about that.
um, and unfortunately, that person was Charlie Kirk. Um, what is a little background on him? Do you have just a little bit of background on him at all, Jay?
Well, I have NBC
From
News pulled up in front of me on my phone. Who is Charlie Kirk? A prominent
Yes.
young conservative activist. Kirk is well, this is when he was still alive, is a 31-year-old conservative activist and father of two who helped fund Turning Points USA, a prominent nonprofit that activates conservative youth on school campuses. A well known supporter of President Donald Trump and a close ally of many in his circle, Kirk spoke at the 2024 presidential convention just days after an assassination attempt on Trump. Boy, I tell you, birds of a feather flock together. So, long story short, he's some conservative guy. He's got a following online. He goes out to these college campuses to hold these. They're just white supremacist circle jerks, just to keep it simple, where he debates people and tries to have people see his little white supremacist side of things. I'm not quite sure what this event he was at this Utah campus, but I'm pretty sure it was something where they were just going to be talking about some conservative goody goodies and all of the above. As a matter of fact, I think he was talking about gang violence right before he got shot.
Yes,
Ironic.
he was. How ironic
Yeah.
that that does occur.
So, yeah, he's been one of these folks out here literally spewing hate. And yeah, when you're out here doing those things, don't nobody, that little thing in your mouth can get you caught up in so many different ways, right? And so you out here spewing all different kinds of narratives and talking about people, and especially when it comes to the youth, you're indoctrinating them to have these hates and hateful beliefs, because you're talking about these, let's just be honest, these little incels that
Mm-hmm.
keep to themselves, can't get no poontang, or if they're older, they're just mad because they're old and are a failure. So You got those two groups of extremists that tend to flock to this type of gibberish that people like the late Charlie Kirk would like to have the world hear. So, when you're out there doing that kind of stuff, nobody else wants what you say. It's going to come back to you some kind of way. Hey, that rhymed. But clearly, you just keep out there spewing it, spewing hate, spewing it like COVID. I mean, I I hope he had life insurance. I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, all white folks got insurance. He wasn't out there speaking all that shit for free.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So he was getting paid.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So this is uh I wanted to um also a lot of things that are going around is his quotes that he said, which was that basically um gun deaths from guns
mm,
is a unfortunate loss, um but pretty much we have to have these deaths in order to save the Second Amendment.
my God.
So that is coming up. He also had another video that was coming up regarding him around people showing empathy, that he didn't believe in empathy when it comes to being political. He didn't like it. He much rather have preferred sympathy instead of empathy for others. So my response to those who are saying, well, he was peaceful and he wasn't bothering anyone. He was just having a political view. No one should have to worry about getting murdered and killed because he was just being political.
Mm,
Correct. No one should be getting killed just because they're having a political view and having a conference. The issue is that he is making it okay
mm-hmm,
for people, whether they have a background check done on them, whether they are legally by state laws qualified to have these weapons. He is preaching the fact that these deaths, be it whatever race it is to save the Second Amendment. And unfortunately, the Second Amendment got. So
mm,
um how can uh, anyone show sympathy towards someone who preached the Second Amendment to hundreds of people? You know, you spew out hate and then you think that it's not going to bounce back on you.
mm, mm,
So, unfortunately, it had to be done in a mass way for y'all white folks to see that God ain't playing.
mm,
But now y'all see that when you um say negative things, you have consequences that come with it. And when someone says, well, you don't see a black person out here getting killed for speaking their political views, well, my response to that is Martin Luther King Jr. was killed,
mm,
and Malcolm X was killed. And let's rewind back the time of how many churches were peacefully enjoying their service,
mm,
and some deranged person came in and shot up the entire
mm,
church.
mm, mm. My God.
So when you say he didn't deserve it. My response is that unfortunately
Mm,
he had to lose his life
mm,
in order to save the Second Amendment.
right.
You
I mean, that's
know,
what they
and
believe in. So, yeah.
so I did see a video that the Congress, MAGA Mike Johnson, they had um, a moment of silence on the floor for Charlie Kirk's death.
Oh, wow, really?
And I'm wondering, well, how come the congresswoman that died, her and her husband, why there wasn't a moment of silence for them?
Mm, no. They probably weren't close enough to the king, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that and that I believe they were Democrats as well.
Oh, well, yeah, no, for sure. No, no, no way.
So, yeah, so there's choices out here, and when you are upset in the comments that people are saying thoughts and prayers, well, how do you think that these parents felt when all the government could offer them was thoughts and prayers on school shootings?
Mm, wow.
And speaking of school shootings, there was one today
Yeah, there
in
was. I heard
Colorado.
about that.
I think it was in Colorado,
Yeah,
right?
I think so, yeah.
In Colorado, and three students were injured.
Mm.
So,
Just another day in America, folks.
correct. It's just another day. And if you think that we, and not we as liberals, because this is not a liberal only podcast, but we as the majority, as the resistance, are going to um, give you any sympathy for what occurred today to Mr. Kirk. You're not getting that from me. You're
Yeah,
not.
no. I
You're
mean,
not getting that from me.
I don't think what I will say is, yeah, he did have children and I guess a wife or whatever, so condolences for that, but at the end of the day, he's an asshole and was. And so when you're out there doing that kind of stuff, like I said, play with God. Play with God if you want to. Play with God if you want to, baby. That's just crazy. What a hell of a way to go out.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know if you all seen that video, but yeah, the moment I saw
That
that,
was the artery shot.
yeah, yeah,
And
I knew he was
so,
done when I saw that. I was like, oh yeah, he's done. There's no way
yeah.
he's coming back from it. I was like, if he does, he's not gonna be right. So I was like, yeah, but
Mhm.
nah, he lost way too much blood right there on the spot as it was. Shit.
Yes. And they, from what I'm hearing, they haven't found the shooter.
I think the FBI may have something, which again, that's suspect in itself because look at who's running that shit. You got something from Cash Patel. Let me go back to the. Let's see what he says here. Okay, so yeah, Cash Patel of the FBI. This is what he tweeted out an hour ago. The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with at FBI. We will provide updates when available.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
apparently they
Okay.
do have
So,
someone or whatever, whatever, whatever.
well, I mean, who wants to put $100 down that 9 times out of 10 this person is white and a Republican?
Oh yeah, I mean that's pretty much all that's in Utah. So it's like, yeah,
Don't be quick to raise your hands now, y'all.
right.
So, we can't wait to see that, because at the end of the day, guess what? There's a lot of people upset. There's a lot of farmers out here that are
Mm,
upset. There's a lot of immigrants out here who is upset. There's a lot of uh uh any other person who is under that, uh pissed off and hurting,
mm.
um that that is mad. And I
Yeah, oh
mean,
yeah.
and we can say the same thing about, yesterday, where Trump and JD Vance and all of them were in a restaurant yesterday, and he was called the H word. The person that, the fascist regime of Germany. We can't say that word on YT, so I'm trying not to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But um, so they're out here spewing out all of this hate, and they're willingly walking in public, going to restaurants in the same area that they put troops in and that they kicked homeless people out of. They are going to college campuses and trying to indoctrinate s- predominantly white institutions, PWIs. We
Mm-hmm.
saw that today, that they're doing that. They're going around the PWIs, and we're wondering how it's being spread out to the masses. How these majority white people are thinking these concepts, and a lot of it begins with school,
Yeah.
and the podcast that they listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and the music that they listen to, the celebrities that they follow. It's all of that is wrapped up into this mind state that we're supposed to all of a sudden switch to some white neo-national Christian regime thought concept. And this is not what that might have been what America was found on, but that's not what America is today.
Mm. Yeah. And that's the thing, where it's the danger of what someone like Charlie Kirk, when they're again going and spewing this information out to these young impressionable minds, all it's going to do is just repeat this cycle of hate, and it'll just continue to get worse and worse. It's not going to get better. Like the as things progress, it's just I just see these things getting more and more extreme. I don't really see, just because this situation happened with him, I don't see this necessarily slowing down anything that these folks are doing. I don't see them changing course. If anything, I see them actually entrenching themselves in their beliefs, because there is a narrative out there that there is a race war that's being pushed, an agenda of such. You could believe that if you want to. I mean, there may be something to it. They don't want to see us, you know, united. They want to have the people divided so that they can continue to do all of the things that they do, and we subsidize it, and then they make money, and then they get to lock people up and make money off of that and get their free cheap labor off of the people that are in the prison industrial complex, or they'll
Mm-hmm.
ship you off to some damn war in the military industrial complex,
Mm-hmm.
because you damn sure ain't gonna get nothing for free. That's for damn sure. They didn't cut all that shit out. So you either gonna be that, or and they gonna then it made it illegal to be homeless. So
Right.
that's where
and
they'll just
and
put
by
you
the way,
into the system. So yeah, go
and when they send you out to war and you come back with your head all fucked up, then you go to public places like New Orleans and hotels in Vegas and run into people with your vehicle, or you blow up a cyber truck in front of a hotel.
Yeah.
All of that to quote unquote save our freedom across the across the seas. And by the way, did those weapons of mass destruction ever get found?
Oh well, that was a lie.
Yeah, but y'all white folks is just so easy, and some blacks. Y'all are just so easy to just believe y'all are fighting for the better good when really you're um you're fighting for really nothing.
Yeah, what it is that they're not fighting anything just. You have just and unjust battles. All of their battles are not justified. Okay, what you see in Russia and Ukraine, the actions that Russia is doing is justified. They are defending their borders, and so that's why they're winning because they're fighting a just war. The ones on the other side that's not fighting a just war, they're losing. And so that's what you're seeing is this battle of white supremacy that's entrenched in this country that we live in, the United States. It's on its way out. It's on its last breath. We're seeing in lifetime the end of an empire. And with that comes this struggle of, again, just not wanting to accept reality. Big Papa and I have talked about this in other ways, but it's so fitting that I'll bring it up now. When you're dealing with people or situations that the powers that are there don't want to accept their situation, their reality, they'll do a lot of things in contrast to that, only to really furthermore their own demise. And so that is truly what I believe we're seeing happening in America right now. That's where you see these white supremacists going out trying to spread this poison to the youth, try to, martyr themselves. Who knows? This could be a false flag situation where, like I said, it could be trying to get this whole race, civil war, or whatever situation. I think the civil war in America is going to be economic based, but I think they'll just try to do the whole race thing too because why not? But then also, this could all just be a huge distraction from the Epstein situation because, I think Charlie Kirk was one of those main ones that was trying to get them files, get them files up out of them closets and drawers and stuff that they got it
Uh huh.
over. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I have seen that conspiracy theory that it could have been from either side. You know that the thought that is put out there is that we have to make two sides disagree on the same subject, and truthfully all it is it's all just manipulation.
Right.
You know, it's all just another matrix to put us in to um devise us against each other,
Yeah.
where we cannot do what our divine anointed path is supposed to be, which is creating heaven here on earth. And so, because we aren't able to create heaven here, I mean, because that is the purpose, is to create heaven here on earth. That too much happiness. will create fruitfulness, abundance, and all of those things. You can't. They don't want that. The powers that be don't want that.
That's right. That's right.
So how do we eliminate um, abundance and overflow and things like that? Well, we have to put two people against each other, and all the while these two different mind states of people are against each other, they're raking in the cash
Mm-hmm.
while you're focused on something that you know shouldn't even be worried about. We shouldn't even be having this conversation, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. The shit is
But
profitable. You're right about that.
so it really does, it all boils down to um the simulation, and you are in control of the simulation that you put your life in.
Mm.
And because you're in control of your simulation, all they have to do is create the matrices for you to accept and go through.
Wow. That
But
was deep.
that's a deeper conversation that y'all folks, the people where your third eye is clogged up, your discernment eye is clogged up, y'all won't see that.
Oh man.
Y'all won't know what I'm talking about. I'm speaking French.
That's that. That's that witchcraft and wizardry.
Uh-huh.
Third eye clogged. Huh? What?
Right.
Huh?
And if y'all think that the witches and warlocks aren't at work at play
Mm,
right now,
my God,
they definitely are.
there is a spiritual
Because the
battle.
blood moon is tomorrow.
And it's 9/11.
And 9/11 is tomorrow.
Mm.
So I don't know if the blood moon is tonight and 9/11 is tomorrow, but it's one of those two.
Either way, we're within that. Yeah,
Yes.
it's within a day.
So, and then not just only that, I believe we're going into a new what is it?
Like a solstice. We're in this.
It's not a solstice, it's another word.
Okay.
But you're in that same, you're hot, but how there's a change in the atmosphere in the planets,
Mm-hmm.
that is also occurring as well.
Mm.
So it's just, it's sad out here. Does this event, these events that occurred on today, going to make me stop carrying a firearm everywhere I go? No. If
Oh, hell no.
anything, it makes me want to carry it even more.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
You know, Uh, if anything, it makes you even more cautious, because just as much as the resistance is making jokes that they killed the wrong person, there's also the other side of this that is fueling their hate,
Oh yeah.
that are ready to march on Charlottesville and do another do another they will not replace us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and that's what I was saying earlier, right? Is that that's where I don't see Mr. Kirk's untimely passing as a warning that these other people would take, like, okay, maybe we should change our ways.
No, no, nope.
Maybe we should have a coming to Jesus meeting, and maybe we shouldn't talk about things the way that we talk about them. It's not really good. Yeah, no, I don't see that happening. I see them actually being more justified. But here's the thing, though. When I say justified, I mean in their head justified. It makes zero sense, because what I was about to say is, it's not like they can go against another group of people per se. These are just white people fighting amongst themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which is just the height of misery. Like, you go after everyone else, but then at the end of the day, y'all's real problem is with y'all's damn selves.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What you do because you hate yourself so much that you would rather spew it on everybody else than to do your shadow work and to look into yourself and see where this hatred is even coming from.
Well, that would require,
That
like you said, real work.
right, right. And it's just, and then on top of all of that, you use the guise of the Bible and Jesus
Mm.
to make it okay to do the things that you're doing.
Oh yeah.
The same Jesus that preached love, the same Jesus that preached caring for your fellow man,
Hmm.
that one. You use that one to preach hate, hatefulness, and divide.
Yeah.
So all of these people will have, well, your life review. Mr. Kirk's life review is probably occurring as we speak.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that
Okay,
that bad boy didn't take long at all.
okay, because he did not live a long time. 1993 till now, he was only 32 years old.
Yeah. Well, I think he's
So
31. I don't think he quite made it 32 yet.
okay, well, 31. So you had 31 short years to do your life review,
Hmm.
and I am sure you are in the realm that you are assigned to be in,
Yeah.
Mr. Kirk.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but normally what I see when I watch paranormal, shout out to the paranormal people who watch that, when there is a tragedy like this, untimely death.
Hmm.
Um, those souls get lost here on earth where they don't even realize that they have died. um and so that's where you see hauntings, where there's people who don't want to cross over because their life was hell on earth, so now it has to be hell on the spiritual side as well.
Mm.
And so, I hope that he walked into his dim light, and that he was able to feel the effects that he made on so many people,
Yeah.
that he was able to feel the hatred that he put into so many people and how many lives that he has endangered just
Hmm.
from the speeches that he has had up until now. I hope that he is able to see how much his words will affect generations through generations through generations, because those college students today
Hmm.
that listen to what he said today,
Hmm.
don't you think that information is going to pass down to the next one?
Oh yeah. That's my point. These young
and
impressionable
then
minds. Yeah.
and then that information is going to pass down to the next one. So he's making trauma to generations of a mass amount of people to keep this sick mindset
Mm.
going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope that he is feeling the effects of the choices that he made
Yeah. Yeah.
as we speak.
Boy, I tell you. That's why I say, whatever you put out there, man, it's yours. Nobody else wants that shit. Nobody else wants that shit. So, mm,
So of course, I'm sure they're probably gonna do some lower the flag and all of this parade song and dance, and Trump showing up at the funeral and all of that for this man. I'm pretty sure all of that is gonna go on this week. Camera time as per usual, but I bet there will be zero camera time for those three kids who got injured for that school shooting today.
no, No.
you know. And there's where is the camera footage about the people in the flood that happened?
Oh, there was a flood.
the, the flood that happened, what, when was it, 2 months ago,
Oh, you mean
where
from
those kids died?
okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were in
have
Texas.
we seen any updates on them?
Nah,
did
they stopped talking
did
about it.
all the bodies get caught? What's going on with that?
Right. Mm-mm. Yeah, they ain't said nothing about that either.
Yeah, what about the students where that transgender assailant went into the school, and I mean went into the church while they were praying,
Mm,
and killed up all those kids? Where's the footage of those parents that are mourning?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And over here, I personally support the LGBT community. And just because this person uh is a transgender person, that does not mean that all transgender people are assailants. Same thing doesn't mean all white folks are assailants. But with white people, it's what you are choosing to do with your privilege. Are you choosing to help other people up with your privilege that need your help, or are you using your privilege to affect generations and generations and generations of people?
Oh wait, remember, there's no such thing as white privilege, though, right?
Right,
That's
right.
like a made up thing.
Mhm, mhm. And I got into the comments underneath the post, and this guy commented about the transgender shooter, but they called this person a transformer. And I was like, well, y'all are supposed to be the people with merit and education and all of this stuff. I would think y'all would be using the proper terms, and and calling people exactly what they are, instead of some fiction character that was made in the movies.
Mm,
But or some utility unit that's used for power.
oh
Y'all
God.
yeah, y'all like using slang, then people with merit would use proper English.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it's it's just dumb. All of it is just crazy you
Yeah,
know
it is. It is a high
um
maintenance.
and so, since we did discuss the school shootings, we did discuss this man's death. We do need to talk about what happened in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you want to um start that, or do you want to do the intermission real quick?
Um, what's the intermission?
Um, just how we shout out our socials and everything.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yes,
Okay.
let's do a quick intermission. Yes.
All right, so now we are in the intermission. At this time, we do not have any sponsors for the show. We are looking for sponsors. We would
We
love to
have one.
promote.
We have a great sponsor. We have.
Oh yes, we do have one sponsor. We love black businesses. So we would love to sponsor some black businesses on our social media. Definitely reach out to us through our link tree, and we can definitely discuss some promotion deals with you, either on our social media via post, or on our YouTube channel when we stream. And of course, we also stream on X. And so, if you are loving our chat, our discussion, we definitely request for you guys to, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, drop a comment down below, share us out to your friends and family so that they can get in on the conversation. If you're on Twitter, definitely share us out, give us a follow. If you would like to follow both of us independently, you can follow me at Me Be the Great on everything. You can follow Jay at
Oh, JCJ Oatsta or JJ Deluxe Realty.
okay. And so at this time, our episode is being powered by J Jordan Deluxe Realty,
Comma LLC.
um, comma LLC. So they are helping to power this episode. So we would appreciate you guys to reach out to them for all of your real estate needs.
Full service real estate with specialization in right of way services.
Yes. And so thank you for listening to our intermission. All
Lovely.
right. So now we are going to discuss an incident that occurred in Charlotte, North Carolina. As you all know, we are North Carolina natives here.
Yes.
And this situation that occurred was an unfortunate situation. It did gain some national news. The president also made a tweet today about it as well, or either it was last night about it. So go ahead, Jay.
Well, so here in Charlotte, North Carolina, a 23-year-old woman by the name of, hold on, let me go back to her name. I just had it. Er, er, Ernia Zarutska, a young woman living the American dream. Her horrific murder is a direct result of a failed soft on crime policies that put criminals before innocent people, said Attorney General Pamela Bondi. I have directed my attorneys to federally prosecute DeCarlos Brown Jr., federally prosecute him, a repeat violent offender with a history of violent crime for murder. We will seek the maximum penalty for this unforgivable act of violence. He will never again see the light of day as a free man. Free man. Uh, so Ernia Zarutska was brutally attacked on the Charlotte Light Rail. Uh, Basically, it was an unprovoked attack. It's getting a lot of national attention because if you can't tell by this lady's name, she was a Ukrainian refugee. So she came from the war in Russia and Ukraine to live in America to be safe. And apparently, instead of being safe, she was murdered, sadly. And another reason why this is getting so much attention is because the assailant, if you also couldn't tell by the name, was is a black man, DeCarlos Brown, and they're trying to, make this thing kind of racial, which goes back to the whole thing that I was saying earlier, right? About them trying to make a whole race war, civil war divide situation. It's just so much of this is like happening at the same time, right? It's like
Yeah.
you just can't say that this is all by happenstance. It's all happening kind of in sequence. Like it doesn't seem like it's by mistake. It's all by design, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are saying the situation on the light rail didn't happen. Some people are saying that they're crisis actors. Some people are saying that the guy, his first phone call from jail, he was saying that the government put something in his body to make him do that. I don't know. I have no idea. What I do know is that apparently the dude had been in and out of jail several times. he was not even supposed to be on the light rail because he didn't pay for his ticket, which leads to another issue with that light rail in general, where it's based off of an honor system, which is
Hmm.
extremely antiquated in 2025. Where, yeah, if you didn't have all of these people coming from wherever the hell they came from, sure, but yeah, you just can't do that. Nah.
Hmm.
So I mean, there's just a lot of things where it's like, should the guy have been out there? Should he not have been out there? Did the system fail by releasing this clearly mentally ill man, releasing him back out into the streets instead of trying to get him help?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're mentally ill like that and you have voices in your heads or whatever, it's not very far fetched to think that you would go and, you know, do that to somebody, right?
Yes.
So that's where it's, again, questions about the system, what could have been done differently. But I think if you start getting into that, then you're just going to get into a whole rabbit hole of bull that's going to be just challenging.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up the what was Charlotte's response to um um what they were gonna if Charlotte was gonna try to make any changes.
Yeah, there's obviously there's a lot of, like I said, eyes on this. So the feds are now looking at their practices. A lot of people are looking at Cats right now. Cats is the operator of this light rail system.
Yes. So let's see here. Cat safety changes. Mm, um let's see. Sorry. Sorry.
That's fine.
That's a Charlotte councilman. Let's see.
Right after he said some racist shit about black people, he caught a hot one. Damn, the internet remains undefeated.
Hmm. So basically, they're saying they want more police visibility, addressing homelessness, mental health, public safety, and closing the revolving door for repeat offenders who disrupt neighborhoods and transit systems. So, police visibility. When if For the people who don't live in Charlotte, police are very visible.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's not the problem.
yeah.
The problem is that, like you said, the light rail is on an honor system. There is no security on the bus, like I mean on the train, unless somebody is on the train asking for tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll check to see if you have a ticket. But there is no security person on these trains at night, like this lady was on the train late at night. So I don't think police visibility is the issue. I think that y'all need to do better with how you're running this light rail. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Addressing homelessness, I do believe they do need to address the homelessness. But from what I've seen was that they were in one area before. They kicked them out of that area, and they moved to near the train station, from what I'm understanding. And the last time that I was at the train station, not the light rail train station,
Mm-hmm.
but the Amtrak,
Mm-hmm.
the homelessness, there were people who were in a mental health crisis there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it a plethora of times occurring at the Amtrak station.
Oh
So
yeah.
clearly they're in that area,
Mm-hmm.
And did I see police there? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did I see the Amtrak workers trying to kick them out of the station and all of that? Yes. But I did not see a police presence. No.
Yeah.
Do I see police presence on the uppity sides of Charlotte? Yes.
Yeah.
They are very visible on the nicer sides of Charlotte.
But
But
what
in the
also isn't
hood,
over there? Ain't no trains that run over there either in the nice parts of town.
right, right. And that's where the hood is at. And they not over there like that.
Yeah.
So, clearly there is some type of need, but police aren't meant to handle mental health crisis.
No.
So still there's no action to have some type of mental health crisis department within the police department to deal with these situations of people who are either dealing from mental health or dealing with substance use.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
So clearly there are some holes there, but then when you look at Charlotte as a whole, are they really concerned about that?
No.
Homelessness?
No.
No,
What they do, as you
no.
said, they'll shuffle them around. They'll criminalize them to be in certain areas. But ultimately, you have the bigger problem that isn't solving itself because, well, the people that have power, they're more concerned with making money than they are with providing any kind of services or solutions to the people that they are supposed to serve. So,
Yes, and then that speaks on the gentrification that's happening in Charlotte in general, in Mecklenburg
correct.
County, because these some of these people have been living in Charlotte before they started raising the prices on housing and rent and all of that.
Right.
And then these same people can't afford to live in the same place that they grew up in, and then they're on the streets, and to deal with being homeless then they result in doing drugs, you
Mm-hmm.
know
Mm-hmm.
and so it's a never ending cycle, but still we're not seeing anything saying Charlotte is building affordable housing units in all four sides of Charlotte. you know we're not seeing that.
And see, the problem with this quote unquote affordable housing is only a couple of units in, you know, hundreds of units that they will build that will be quote unquote affordable. The rest are going to be at market. So, really, all of this is still just helping these developers and these builders. If they actually wanted to do something about rents, they could regulate, and that would do a lot right there. But the problem with that is you have this thing called property rights,
Hmm.
and property owners can tend to do anything that they want to do as long as they're not breaking any laws. And there aren't any laws on the books that say you can't charge what you want to charge for your place. You know, that's where
Right.
America is going to America, and you do this thing to make as much money as you can. And that goes
Hmm.
back to one of my bigger conversations that I always talk about, which is how capitalism will destroy itself. Because, I mean, at some point, it's just not going to be sustainable, right? And so you'll be
Hmm.
dealing with situations that it's just not going to get better. It's not going to get better because people wages aren't keeping up with the prices. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
And you have
And
people that
I
aren't making that kind of money to be paying what they want people to be living in these places. So, and
Yes.
then you got to
And I
qualify for it and stuff. And so, yeah, that was the other thing too. Like you may be in too good of a position, but you still barely getting by. So it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, and I mean, also, though, like we were talking about that affordable housing. Well, if there's only 3 or 4 units out of a 100 unit place, how long you think those wait lists are?
Exactly.
2 years, 3 years, 4 years? Because I can tell you right now, I've been on the wait list for a year now
Hmm.
for Charlotte housing, and I have not moved.
Yeah.
So for all of you all that are rushing to come down here, please, please do your research,
Oh man.
because everything is not as green as you think that it is.
Hmm.
You know, and I mean, Jay and I, we've discussed this before, that Charlotte is a place that will turn you and burn you.
Hmm.
They will kick you out when they can't use you anymore. And you have to be able to stay up to live in a city like Charlotte. Not saying that there aren't poor people who live in Charlotte. Yes, there are. But they are still slowly kicking these people out
Yeah.
into places that are more rural,
Yeah.
like Gastonia, like Waxhaw, like Indian Trail, like
Monroe.
Monroe, Denver, all of these outside
China
places.
Grove.
Yes,
Kings
all of
Mountain.
these,
Shit.
all of those places where it's cheaper to live. But now all of those rural places don't have transportation to get you back and forth to your appointments. Half of them don't have transportation.
Mm-mm.
They have, if you're experiencing a housing crisis in Charlotte, so all of those people that got kicked out, where you think they applying to next? All of these places that we're listing.
Hmm.
So you're going to be on the wait list there.
Yeah.
So and if you're not prepared to afford this life, have a backup plan to your backup plan to your backup plan. If
Hmm.
you're not in that situation, I highly suggest you keep your ass where you at.
And there's nothing wrong with how do I put this? You have multiple generations living together now. It's been going on for years, but
Hmm.
I think it's becoming more and more common because more and more people are being forced to either move back in with their parents, with the whole family. I was listening to somebody on one of these podcasts say something about how they got to take their wife and newborn back home because they just lost their job in the tech industry somewhere. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean that's the thing that's been going on. But until people get affected by either job loss or something, yeah, I mean I would just say go ahead and get ahead of the curve, save your money, move in with your folks, do what the hell you got to do. Don't give your money to these places where they overcharging for you to live on top of people, and then they nickel and dime you for every little thing that you do while you're
And not
there.
just only that, you're gonna be battling bugs and rats. Okay, you're gonna be battling that while you living on top of other people. Everybody ain't gonna be as clean as you are.
Yeah, and meanwhile you're still paying all that money. So yeah.
That's right. And we're not saying that, everyone who moves in with their family is going to be a perfect living
Hell
situation.
no.
Every family got some shit. I
Yeah.
don't care if you got the best family. Every family got some shit with them.
Hmm.
But that goes back into doing your shadow work, going to therapy,
Yeah.
finding some way to hold on. I mean,
Hmm.
if it's too violent, too abusive, then absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Don't move back in with your family.
Right.
But if it's things that you can work on yourself, a way to hustle hard enough to get to a position where you can go back to living independently and feel comfortable, do the work that you need to do.
Right.
You know, Take this time to put all of that energy back into yourself. That
That's
don't
right.
mean take this discount and living and go to the club and
Mm-hmm.
ball out.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what that is for,
Right. Right.
you know. But the best thing to do is to go inward, get the assistance that you can. If you have a family member who can help you, take the assistance, but always have a plan B. Don't be just dependent on hoping you can live with a family member.
Yeah.
Save up your bread and keep your head down, and don't be telling everybody what you got.
And it's hard to save when you spending all that money in rent that's going out to these people that just are out there to make money. I mean, take a look at the eviction court. You see, it's just packed full of black folks this
Hmm.
getting put out on the street. So it's like, yeah, just, shit.
Yeah, and so really, and still, even in these places that are heavily populated, aka these Democrat ran cities. You know, um, it doesn't mean that there won't be violence. You know, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean just because you live with your family that violence can occur.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you deal with it and how you resolve it, and how you protect yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah,
A lot of it has to do with just being smart and keeping your head on the swivel and listening to your gut.
yeah. And if your head is clogged up,
Mm.
if your gut and your discernment is all clogged up with, I gotta have the newest J's, I gotta have the newest Birkin, I got to have the newest iPhone Air, I
Mm-hmm.
got to have the
The latest and the
the
greatest.
the Range Rover that just came out, I gotta have a new this and a new that. If that's what your discernment is clogged up with, then you won't be able to decipher what's good for you and what's bad for you.
Yeah, that's very true. And I'll admit for a while I was very clogged up with labels.
So was I. So was I.
Hmm. So
But
yeah.
it hit and rock bottom a couple of times
Hmm.
to realize that Ralph Lauren, Dolce and Gabbana, Gucci, Michael Kors, Coach, all of those, Nike, Jordan, all of them, you
Hmm.
can't call not now one of them when you can't pay your rent next month.
Mm. Wow.
And you can't call them to put minutes on your phone. You can't call them to pay your bill because you had the windmill a bitch in the
Mm.
middle of the street somewhere.
Mm.
You can't do none of that.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
you might be able to call your mama. You might be able to call your father.
Hmm.
You might be able to call your auntie or your brother and your so those connections are what matters the most in a time like this when capitalism is going through so much. And I forgot to mention at the top of the show how, you know, financially there's hardly any jobs out here,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they had to revise the jobs report, and it was way lower than they expected,
Mm.
you know, and that if you think that we're living in some great economy, we aren't.
Mm-mm.
We aren't.
Yeah.
And from what I saw yesterday, that due to some type of due to the tariffs that he had put them, the imagination tariffs, that people had paid out like so much money into the tariffs,
Hmm.
and now that those tariffs got straight down, all of those people who paid those tariffs up until now, The government has to refund them back their money.
Mm.
And what you think old Donnie was using all of that tariff money to do?
Um, Probably spend it on some war shit to go blow up some shit.
Yes, yes, and
and
hire
and
ICE
go and go
agents.
fly over Putin with the plane.
Yes, hire ICE agents, fly him back and forth to all of these golf courses that he can cheat at.
Mm.
Um, Paint the wall in Mexico black, and build up alligator Alcatraz that got shut down.
Mm.
So doing all of this stuff, that tariff money is not there. I don't think that they just have it sitting in some tariff account and then they can just say, "Oh, okay, well here you go. We'll refund all y'all that y'all's money," because it was like $8 billion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really high number of the tariff amount that they collected to have to be refunded back to all of these merchants and sellers.
Yeah, well, this is where when we say give us our reparations, cut the check, the
Hmm.
U.S. wastes money all the time, all day, every day. Don't tell me that y'all ain't got no money.
Right. Yeah, I don't care if y'all got to go into Fort Knox and melt down those blocks of gold that y'all got. Y'all can melt it down and turn that into liquid cash and cut the check.
There it is. You heard it first from me, Big Papa. Damn, Mimi the Great.
Yeah, y'all heard it first.
uh,
They got it. They
mm,
just don't. They just don't want to get. And I've also been seeing today. Well, I've been posting on my Facebook two different photos of Black Native Americans too. That was taken like like black and white photos
mm-hmm,
that was taken like back in the day. And I put a status on my post that like, are y'all still thinking that we all came here on a ship?
mm, mm,
And one person commented and said that no, but some of us did come here on the ship. And I was like, yes, some of us did come here on the ship, but some of us was already here, and that's why we need our reparations paid in full.
mm-hmm. A lot of the.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, no, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say really quickly. A lot of the black natives got reclassified as Negro. So after the ethnogenesis that happened, where you have a mix of the native blacks, the blacks that were brought here from Africa that survived the Middle Passage,
Hmm.
you know, all the SAs from Massa and the breeding that happened from that, you had the ethnogenesis that is foundational or freedmen descendants of slavery black Americans.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's where a lot of people have this thought that all of us were just brought on some ship and dropped off here and somehow we all learned how to work the land that we never were on, because that makes
Right.
sense.
We're giving you knowledge here on TPP.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
this is not
there's
the knowledge you're gonna get in public schooling,
hell
by
no.
the way.
They no, no. This is what they're actively trying to remove from the schools. Actually, stuff like this because they want you to think that you're some lost African that immigrated to America. See, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to lump the descendants of slaves, freedmen, in with immigrants and make it seem as though the only true Americans are these Charlie Kirk types. Those are your real Americans, and that's a lie. They knew booty. They just got here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And all them ones that want to say, oh well, my folks came from the Mayflower, they full of shit. Because you know what? A lot of them Irish or Italian or German, they just got here within the last 100, 200 years. And when they got
Yes,
here, they weren't accepted either.
that is correct. And let's not forget that that they were put in refugee camps. Our Asian people, please come to the table. Y'all were put in cages and looked as Charlie. Okay, and if you don't know what the term Charlie mean, go look it up.
Well, and so
Okay.
the thing is with both of these groups, all these groups we're talking about, with the exception of blacks, they were given some form of restitution or repair for the injustices that were done to them.
Yep,
So
even up to the pandemic.
there you go. So and ongoing still, you know, I mean, you have a group of people that's continuously getting reparations. But again, when you talk about Black Americans getting some kind of reparative justice, it's what are you gonna do with it? You all don't know how to do anything with that. Who's gonna get it? All this other garbage that doesn't really matter, or you don't ask for these other groups of people. I just want what you all did for the Red Indians. Okay, just do that for us and cut the check. You know, keep it simple. Because again, like we said, they reclassified the dark-skinned natives as Negroes. I think it was Walter Plecker is the one that did that. That's the name that's coming to mind. Anyways, some person reclassified the native Indians that were darker skinned as Negroes. And then the red Indians, those are the ones that you see today that they are cosplaying as actual native Americans when they're just white people that paid $5 to be on the Dallas Rolls. That's where you hear the term $5 Indians. That's where that came from. You had these white people that just paid $5 so that they could be considered Indian and get money. See how that works? So,
Money is the root of all evil.
yes,
And
indeed.
so, um, we are going to wrap up the podcast here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we are at a hour in almost 20 minutes. So yeah, no, this has been a good broadcast tonight. Um, very grateful to have this opportunity with you, Big Papa. All things
I as well
considered.
with you.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So we will see where we are at um towards the end of the week, possibly
Yeah.
for another stream where we can recap the shenanigans of what white America is going to do since their
Oh
beloved
man.
one of their beloved leaders has passed. So
At the hands of their own.
at the hands of their own, and we'll see if we can come back and discuss, any updates. If not, um, we'll definitely be back next week with a new set of current events and continue our discussion there.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you, Big Papa. Until next time, everyone. Thanks for listening in on our TPP podcast. Have a good night.
Powered by J. Jordan Deluxe Realty.
Yes, indeed. Where we
Uh,
service all of your real estate needs. Till next time.
okay.
Have a good
Until next
night.
time. Bye.
Bye.